do this. Let's do this. Do this. Sweet brown shirt you got there. Well, thank you. This is my BoucherCon Murder and Mayhem in Music City shirt that you got for free when you got there. And they actually had my size, which is freaking amazing. Free shirt. I'll take free shirts all day. It doesn't matter if it's brown. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter to me. Your fingers are like lightning this afternoon. Well, they called me Lightning Fingers. That was my nickname in high school. Oh, wait, no, your audio is doubled up. Is it? I don't know why. That's on your end. That ain't on my end. You might want to turn that shit down because there's going to be a lot of profanity and a lot of typing today. It's got to be you because I have not changed any of my settings. That is weird. What is this? I don't want to gift anything. Stop popping up a gift crap. You were ever you were ever going like Mickey Mantle telling everybody you're the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Echoing. Really? You're not allowed to say echoing. That's a bad word. It just figures at this point you've mistyped every word. So there's obviously, if you're typing a word, it's not the right word for you. There's obviously something else there. You know what I'm saying? My goal is just to get um, to the next page and finish the next page. Yeah, just now it just doesn't like you. You can just tell it's just plain favorites. This is the 38th chapter of the book, the third book of our trilogy Tom and I are writing. Tom wrote a chapter yesterday, and I didn't immediately jump on it because I was busy yesterday. I had things to do yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Only 12 to go, exactly. I gotta finish this one first, throw it back to Tom, raise it up the flag, and see who salutes. That must be a Sayreville shirt because I can make out Vile and any shirt that says Ville must actually say Sayreville. It says Ville. It says Nashville. Like, what the hell's a Nashville? Close. The sister city to Sayreville. True Northerner. There's Ben. Hello, can't stay long, busy day at work. Just wanted to pop in and see how it's going. Say I liked the stories from the reading yesterday. Yeah, thanks for coming to the reading yesterday, Ben. That was very cool of you. I appreciate the support. As always, hopefully we will have more events coming up soon. Lots more events. I also want to figure out about the Palm Coast Library. If they're going to do another event coming up next year, I would love to do that one again. So if you're in the library again, Ben, and you see a flyer for it, or if you talk to somebody, whatever, let me know because I definitely want to do that one again. I thought that was a good 1 day event. I'm enjoying that. Yeah, I did a reading. I read two. I read two short stories yesterday. Isn't that insane? Totally insane. But I think I did well. And the first story, they laughed at all the right places, which was good. And the second one was a little. I did a flash fiction piece, about 400 words, really for Amanda Ward's daughter. All right, Ben, thank you. Appreciate it. Have fun at work today. Last time I saw you doing reading, you totally didn't read and just made it a Q&A. Yep. Yep. So when, let me give you a little backstory here, Frank. Tim Gilmore is a local nonfiction guy. He's Jack's Psycho Geo. About my age, and he does a website, Jack Psycho Geo, and he does all the hauntings, all the deaths, all this other stuff. His website is really, really good. It's all Jacksonville, so it's about the KKK being in Jacksonville. It's about haunted houses. It's about all kinds of oddities. Tool, Henry Lee Lucas, serial killers from Jacksonville. Everything. Great, great website. And he does the second Sunday poetry reading event thing at Happy Medium Books. And this month, since it was Halloween coming up, he decided to move it to yesterday, so I guess the 3rd, whatever it would be. And he invited me and Victoria Nations to come out and read one of our short stories and do a Q&A. And I was like, yeah, sure, not a problem. When I signed up for it, it was like a month or so, 6 weeks ago, and you don't even think about it. And then on Thursday at lunch, Amanda says, I think I'm going to bring my daughter. Are you going to read anything crazy? And I said, I don't even know what I'm reading. And then it hit me, holy shit, I'm going to do a reading. So I said, of course, I said, well, have you explained to her what incest and cannibalism is yet? Because that's what I'm going to. But I didn't read anything like that. But then I didn't get freaked out. Luckily, because I had other things I did. I was very busy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I left the house. Tonight, I got to leave the house. So a lot of me leaving the house stuff. So when I woke up yesterday morning, I wrote that little 400-word flash fiction thing. There's Nick Zinn, because I knew Amanda was going to bring her daughter. And young Mike Whitmer came. He brought his son, which was cool. There's Amanda, speak of the devil. And we probably had 20-something people in the place. It's a cool little bookstore. When I got there originally, there was like 2 or 3 people with their laptops sitting at tables. There's also like a little cafe, so they do coffees and stuff. She loves that flash fiction so much. Yeah, afterwards, Amanda's like, my daughter wants to know if she can have a copy, so I gave her my copy. Apparently, she read it over and over and over, which is great. That's really good. So I had a great time. I did, like I said, I read a couple of things. I got laughs in the right spots. I thought I was engaging. And it was an unpublished short story that I wrote here on Twitch, and then that flash fiction thing, and then they had great coffee. So you're like, and what was cool is she was like, okay, do you want something? And then Victoria Nation was already there, and she's like, yeah, we get a cup of free coffee. So it's like, you know what? Can you make me a cold brew with the cream and sugar? And she did. So she's push, push, push. She made me coffee, which is great. The coffee was very good, and so which is what I needed. If you don't laugh during a cannibal scene, are you even human, bro? Exactly. There still would have been someone in books of horror complaining that you only read a piece about incest and cannibalism. Oh yeah, God, yeah, yeah. If I had read something brutal, they would have they would have had a complaint. Oh, that's not. Oh, I only want splatterpunk. Yeah, no, I don't write that garbage. Or what you think is splatterpunk and is not splatterpunk. Anyway, I had a good time. Met some new people. I actually sold some books. I brought a bag with me with copies of books with me, and I actually had a couple different people came up and oh, you have books for sale? So I sold books. I didn't sell them through the store, just sold them. But I forgot, of course, to talk to the store about selling books there, which they had. They had a lot of Tim Gilmore's books there. So I guess if Victoria Nation actually had a book out, she would have sold it there as well. But she read one of her many short stories she has published over the years. So one of the two, and it was a very odd story. And then Tim Gilmore read some nonfiction and some fiction stuff, but about Otis Toole and serial killers and cannibalism stuff. I did not sell any copies of socks, which I was surprised. I mean, I didn't have any with me, and I didn't write that book, but still, you figure anybody doing a book signing would automatically sell at least 5 copies of socks. Well, when Tom Duffy moves down here, then that'll be my goal. My goal will be to get copies of socks into all of the local bookstores and massage parlors. I think it'd do really well there. So yeah, I had a socks is very popular in Florida public libraries, and why wouldn't it be? So I had a great time. I had a much better time than I thought I was going to have, and I'm glad I did it. And hopefully I will do it again in the future. So, and on Saturday, me and Amanda both showed up for young Mike. Mike Whitmer did a book signing at a coffee place, the sketchy part of town. I got to be honest. And there was supposed to be yoga. The event was like 10 to 2, and at 10:30 to 11:30 was supposed to be yoga. So I showed up expecting to see chicks in yoga pants, and there was a couple of women there in their yoga pants, but nobody yogaed. Yeah, I was disappointed. You were disappointed no yoga to watch. I was disappointed. There was this one chick with stretchy pants that rode in on her bicycle, and she had a big, big ass. And I was like, yes! Yes, I'm going to watch her yoga on a mat. This is going to be the greatest day ever. And then she just sat in a chair and drank coffee. And nobody did any yoga. I was like, what the hell? Where's the yoga? But Mike sold some books. We met some dude that for a living he throws axes. So I mean, whenever you meet that guy, you know you've had a good day. And then Amanda and I went and we got some lunch on Saturday together. We try to go to this place called Fox Restaurant, but it's in one of those downtown areas where there's no parking. Like you're 6-7 blocks out and there's still no parking. So we were just like, let's just go to the nearest Metro diner, which we did that. We both had omelets. Isn't that crazy? We both ate an omelet, but a different omelet. We didn't share an omelet or anything. You could have done Downward's Dog and read a child murder short story. That would have been a great performance video. Yeah. So we it was good. So Saturday was good. Saturday I got out of the house, got to hang out, support Mike. Mike returned the favor yesterday and came and hang out. I got to have a lengthy conversations with Victoria Nation's wife. She's very, very cool, and that was so that was very cool to be able to talk to her. There was a couple of other authors in the audience, a bunch of wannabes in the audience, but we had a Q&A thing, so we had a bunch of questions at the end, which was nice. So I had a good time. It's one thing to throw axes, it's another to throw axes for a living. Exactly, right? I mean, that's next level shit. That is next level. So I had a good weekend. I would imagine going forward, I probably won't have many great weekends where I'm actually doing stuff, which is probably fine. Because I probably don't need to do many more things for the rest of this year. So there you go. So that was my weekend. And I don't even want to hear about any of your weekends because there's no way you're going to top that weekend, so don't even try. Frank, have you watched, new segue, have you watched, I think it just came out. I think it's on Prime, but I'm not sure. It's a series called Game 7. You've not watched it. You would like it. So, I think it's like 4 episodes, 5 episodes, right? And it's produced by Mike Messier, the hockey guy. And so, of course, they talk about Game Sevens for the Oilers when, of course, him and Gretzky won, and then Game 7 when he played for the Rangers and the Rangers won. The one thing I did not like is they have one the Red Sox Yankees Game 7, but not where the Red Sox came back down 3-0 and they won 4 in a row, and that had never been done in baseball before. No, it was the fucking Aaron fucking Boone game where he hit that home run off of Wakefield, Game 7, and I'm like, of course you're a New York guy now, and everything is New York. It's ridiculous. I saw the previews. Looks interesting. It was interesting. It's like 5 episodes, I think. Very interesting. They even had like Dallas Mavericks Game 7 over the Spurs, one of them, and I don't remember what else there was. There was no football. There was no Game 7 football for some reason. But it was pretty. It was interesting. Except I once it was over, I was like, well, that annoyed the shit out of me because it's you talked about 2 Game 7s that you as a hockey player won and had something to do with, and then you have not the greatest comeback in baseball history, but the year before when they got their ass beat, and then you have like a 2-second thing about it at the end. You bet the Game 7 that Boston won wasn't as exciting. Yeah, but still, the comeback, everything leading up to that, and they were talking about other. I read an article then yesterday about it. And they were talking about other Game 7s that they talked in various sports, but none of them were as obviously as exciting as those specific games. So there you go. So it should looks good. Then I just watched a bunch of nothing shows. I read a lot. Nick's in. Speaking of sports, Nick's in segue. The Yankees lost. Did they? They lost 2 games. I didn't even realize. That Boston show's got its own documentary on Netflix. Stop being such an asshole about it. Yeah, I don't care. This has nothing to do. This thing is not on Netflix. It has nothing to do with that. And you should praise them because they thoroughly beat the Yankees then. And I want to see it as many times as possible. And the Jaguars, I was glad the Jags lost. I fucking hate them. I hate the fans. It's not even the team. Like, the team is not going to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be realistic. That team is never going to win anything until it's like 30 years from now and they actually have a good draft. And by then they'll be playing in London full time. Let the Yankees have their one little moment in history. One little moment. Sons of bitches. I mean, even though the Raiders are, I'm like, I can't even watch. I didn't watch any football yesterday. I was busy. I was busy doing my reading. There looked to be a solid number of Packer fans of the game. Always. Jacksonville, always. We went years ago, and that was, I think, a year where they were actually looking like they could get in the playoffs, and I think they did get in the playoffs and got beat. We went to a Raiders game because my wife, her vendors are always trying to give tickets. And so we went to a Raiders game, and of course I wore my Raiders jersey, and I'd say 80% of the stadium were Raiders fans. Like, our entire section was Raider fans. Like, if I went there with a Jacksonville jersey on, I would have felt like I was in enemy territory. That's how awful that they are. And one of the guys that used to work for my wife, one of the maintenance guys was like, "Oh yeah, so I wanted to take my son to a Jacksonville game, so we just went, a day of, and we got tickets." And I'm like, "Day of? Like we met a guy in Green Bay who does the tours of Packers. He does a tour of the stadium. 35 years he's been on that list. 35 years. You can't even get Jets season tickets. As bad as the Jets are, it took my brother 15 years to get those tickets. You could literally walk up game day, and Jaguars have only 7 home games instead of 8 because they're in London. One game is a away game, the other one is a home game. So you even have one less game to sell, and you can't sell out. Just ridiculous. Simply ridiculous. I hate this sports town, which it is not. And we're supposed to be getting a WNBA team, they're saying. Who the hell's going to that? I ain't going to that. I mean, I probably will go because my wife's one of the vendors. Oh, no, she don't have any vendors here anymore. I just realized my wife has no more properties here in Jacksonville, only in Atlanta and in other places in the country. So we don't even get those tickets anymore. So I won't even get to go to see the Jacksonville Iceman, and those tickets are ridiculously priced. There you go. Figured it all out. All right. The next word I write, I'm on the next page. What if they have a yoga night at the WNBA game? Not with those chicks. Those girls are too skinny and way too tall. Tall doesn't bother me, but you got to be a big girl. Like you got to be like 350 to 500 pounds if you're like 6 foot tall for me to have any interest. Next page, Nick's in. Next page. It's currently 72 degrees here in beautiful, mostly cloudy Jacksonville. I'm not sure if we're going to get any rain today. I haven't really checked. But it's nice out. It's a nice little breeze, too. I got woken up this morning because we have a water softener. You know, those who have come here are like, oh my God, your water is just delicious. That's because we have a water softener system. So once a year, the dude's got to come out and check everything and blah, blah, blah. So he came out this morning, but I totally forgot he was coming. And he's ringing the doorbell at 9 o'clock. Woke me up, scared the shit out of me. Let him in, and he's a big bourbon guy. So we talked bourbon. What does the water softener sound like? For some reason, the water softener, I always, whenever I go in the garage and it's functioning, it's working, I always think, why are we making coffee in here? Because it sounds like a psh, a psh, a psh. Oh man, goodness. And yeah, so he was here. We talked some bourbon, and then he left. Nick says we started a new show on Max, aka HBO Max, called It's Florida, Man. Liz was curious if everyone around you was like the people in the show. Is that the one where Florida Man, where that one dude who's in everything is in it? The coffee sounds arch to me, right? It makes you want to drink coffee, even though you only drink decaf. If it's a show I'm thinking of that's only one season, yeah, we saw it. Yeah, I mean there are those people that do obviously live here. Amanda being one of them. But yeah, that show was all right. They recreate real life stories about Florida people. Or maybe it's something different than I'm thinking. I'm thinking it was like a sitcom comedy thing, like one season. One guy lost an arm to a gator. That sounds about right for Florida. No, I don't have Max, aka HBO Max. Another one is toes eaten by somebody on Craigslist. Okay, was that a Tim Meyer book? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Was the bad guy looks like Sinbad? Was his name Neil? And did he live across the street from me? I haven't seen Neil in a while. His wife came over a couple weeks ago, and she's like, "What new books do you have?" She's like, "I need something to read. I'm bored." And I was like, "Well, here's a you never read the Heist trilogy." Gave her that. You never read. I just gave her like 8 books to read. I'm like, that should be good enough. Now go home and read. Chapter is done though, so I'm happy about that. Tom, if you're on, no, I didn't give her sucks. I like this woman. Tom, if you're on, chapter done. But I will also text you right now. I'll let you know. Shenancy is the copy. No, I haven't had that in a while, but I'm sure that's at some point. I'm sure that's gonna come, right? All right. I'm on chapter 46 of Down and Dirty 3. I should be on chapter 49 today. I should be finishing 49, but I did not write on this. Saturday I didn't write at all with everything going on, and then yesterday I only wrote that. I then written like 100 something words. I basically got to the next page. That was it. So I got to write on this, but I'm not going to write on it right this second. I made sausage, onion, and pepper sandwiches last night, right? They were friggin' delicious. And a loaf of sourdough bread I just cut in half, took all the malik out of the middle, and then just stuffed it. And then I made some gravy, and I dumped the gravy in. And I ate 2 big sandwiches. And I felt a little nauseous last night when I went to bed. But then today I was like, you know what? I still have like most of the gravy left. I'm going to make ravioli. So I put water on to boil. The water boils. I open up the freezer. I don't have any ravioli. I ate it last week. I ate the lobster ravioli last week. So luckily I had 1 pack of ziti noodles, that 60-second bag you throw in the microwave thing. And then I grabbed a dozen shrimp that was left in the bag, and I made those. So I had shrimp and pasta for lunch. Tonight we're going for seafood. It's her Aunt Vicky's birthday, and she wants to go to the seafood place and get some seafood. So we will go for seafood tonight. So I'm going to try not to snack this afternoon. Back scratcher time. Thank you, Frank. You always can tell when I start squirming that it's because my hairy back is bothering me. Ugh. 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 So last night I went to bed early, like 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock I was in bed, I was reading. I finished What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. It's a reimagining of the House of Usher by Poe. It's good. I finished that, and I realized, oh, there's a sequel to this as well. So I have to, I'm going to get that from the library. This is just a library book. Why I'm not going to ruin it for, I'm not going to ruin the surprise, Nick. And why would I do that? Why would I just, oh, spoiler, here's what's really going on in this book. I'm not going to do that. Oh, let me ruin the book for you. You know the guy who eats all the hot dogs, Kobayashi? He's the killer. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, it's a good book. It's just short book, 160 pages or something. Very good. Yeah. So I went to bed. I finished reading that, and when you get in bed and it's like 10 pages, I'm like, let me start something else. So I started I don't even remember, some crime thriller anthology on my Kindle Unlimited. And then I went to try to go to sleep, couldn't sleep. Then I go to the bathroom, went to the bathroom, came back. I was like, oh, let me just play on my phone for a little bit. And then it was like 3:30 in the morning. And I'm watching Bobby Lee and that other guy doing their podcast. Or Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer doing their podcast. And basically I watched for like 4 hours. I watched basically just like next. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Bert Kreischer's comedy. But some of the stories he tells, like his normal life stuff, I think is pretty good. Those are funny. I did not realize that Tom Segura also has a podcast thing that he does with his wife. And I'm not a fan of his wife. Because I'm like, lady, you're not anybody. And don't try to act like you're somebody. Like, don't talk over your husband, who's the famous one, arguably. So there you go. There you go. So that was it. That was what had happened. So that was that. So whatever I don't finish today, I misread tool shed as taco shed behind you. Now I want to read about the taco shed. That is a great. That sounds like something Frank Edler. That sounds like a Frank Edler story. Taco shed. I'm sure a lot of crazy things will be going on in the taco shed. I wish it was. I wish it was. I wish it wasn't a book. I wish it actually was a legitimate taco shed behind me, and I could just walk into the taco shed behind me and get some tacos. Manuel, tacos, tamale, something like that. So I gotta go to the library. I'm probably gonna go this afternoon. Drop off this book. There's also early voting. So as I said to my wife, well, I gotta vote just to cancel your vote, so, or your sister's vote, or anybody in your family's vote. It's like my family against her family in voting. But I also have the second book of this Kingfisher thing already on hold. So don't yell. I'm on the phone with my boss. Does that mean you want me to yell? You want me to yell, Frank, I'm not paying for these hookers by myself again? Something like that? I'd read Taco Shed. You need to write Taco Shed. I think that's a Frank Edler book if I ever hears one. I voted on Friday. That line was long every day. It would be bigger if it was a taco shed. Oh my God. Can you imagine if the only place to vote this time of year was at a taco shed? I mean, who the hell would even get to voting? You'd be like, you'd get home and your imaginary girlfriend would be like, did you vote? Oh, shit. I had 6 really good tacos, though. Maybe I'll go back in an hour. And then you forget to vote again because you're in a taco shed. I think you have till the 2nd or 3rd or something to vote. I think Duval County has till Sunday. But I probably will go today. Because then tomorrow Amanda's coming over. We're going to get some writing in. Maybe get some lunch in. And then, what do you call it? That also. Let me look, Amanda. I don't know if you're even still listening. I'm going to look at the BMAC. I'm going to look at their menu again. Or as I like to call them, BMAC. Multitasking. Look at you. All right, I got to do the old man move my glasses thing. Tomorrow is Tuesday. So tomorrow the buffet has fried chicken, baked chicken, fried pork chops. Oh, the pork chops are so good. Sausage, peppers and onions, chicken liver, rice, mashed potatoes, gravy, stewed tomatoes, rutabaga, pinto beans, green beans, cabbage, corn, greens, baby green lima beans, white lima beans, yams, mac and cheese, cornbread biscuits, fried okra, fried squash. There's a salad bar, a cold bar, cobbler, and ice cream. I think we're going to go for lunch tomorrow. It's like $13 a person. Delicious. So don't get any apple fritters on your way over. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. You don't even have to stop at Dunkin' if you don't want. You can just have a cup of coffee here. But if you want to stop at Dunkin', obviously get me one. So yeah, we're gonna go there for lunch tomorrow. Then we'll do that. Plus, I gotta again. I have to go to the post office tomorrow. So please remind me tomorrow because the post office is right around the corner. And the last time Amanda and I went to lunch, I believe we went to BMAC's buffet. I forgot to go to the post office. Yeah, we did fail hard. I mean, really, really bad. I don't know if you like pork chops, but their pork chops are friggin' delicious. I reminded you once we got all the way back. Yes, I appreciate that. When I was like, yeah, my shoes are off. I'm not leaving the house again. So maybe I'll wait to go to the what do you call it? To the library too. I don't feel like leaving the house today. Who the hell wants to leave the house? You don't have to. I've left the house every day, and I got to leave the house tonight, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, to go to dinner. So yeah, so please remind. I gotta put a box together for eBay. I'm not leaving the house today after the busy weekend. Yeah, I don't blame you on that. If I didn't have to do this thing tonight, I would welcome just staying in my comfy shorts and not leaving the house. Wednesday, I have no plans to leave. Thursday, no plans to leave. So I think I told everybody I'm doing a NaNoWriMo-esque type of thing with Sisters in Crime, starting on the 1st. And I think I'm going to do like I've done the last couple, 3 years. I think on Halloween night, I think at midnight, so probably like 11:30 or so, I'm going to get on Twitch. I'm going to go on Twitch live, right here on Twitch, October 31st into November 1st. And then on November 1st, boom, I'm going to start writing. My goal for that day is 2,829 words. So that's a big first day. So I want to get a jump on it. So even if I can do like a page or two, and then get up, what would that be, Friday? Then get up Friday morning, whenever I want, and then back on Twitch at 1 on Friday to hopefully get another page or two in. So that's the goal. So that's what I will be doing. So I don't know what you guys are going to be doing that day. I don't know anybody who's actually doing NaNoWriMo. I think they shot themselves in the foot, which is good. But I'm going to do 60,000 words in November and write this third book. Of course, I have 5 chapters of this book to finish first. So I got to do that in the next 2, 3, 4 days. I watched a documentary last night, The Mojo Manifest. Everybody remember Mojo Nixon from the 90s? If your store don't have Mojo Nixon, then it could use a fix-in, whatever that Dead Milkman line was. It was actually more interesting than I thought it was going to be. The dude is insane. I think he's dead now, too. But you know what I realized, Frank? If you ever watched that, I believe it was on Tubi, he looks, in his later years, not like when the later interviews, like when he's big and fat the last couple years, but before that, he looks like Hunter Shea. Holy shit, does he look like Hunter Shea. Hunter Shea. Have a good one. I have to get back to the taco shed. You have fun at that taco shed, Nick Zinn, and I will talk to you soon. I'll talk to you on Wednesday. I will be on. So there you go. There it is. All right. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I've had 4 cups of coffee today. I think it's just time to do that. Amanda, I will see you tomorrow. Frank, everybody else, I will see you on Wednesday. And you know what? Keep on rocking in the free world, as Leonard Skinner says. See you tomorrow.